New details are still emerging as to what happened in Nyahururu, where Ruto attended a church function. In our earlier video, we realized that as Ruto was speaking in the church, outside, the youth were chanting, Yote yawezekana, bila Ruto. Ruto must go. So Ruto was speaking in the church, but outside chants of Ruto must go could be heard even in the church. And it got even interesting when William Ruto was now leaving the church. As is tradition, anytime after attending a church service, Ruto normally do address the congregation and the locals outside. Today he tried it, but I know from where he is regretting having attempted or even tried to address the locals of Nyahururu. And even before I continue, let me take this opportunity once again to congratulate Nyahururu Gen Zs. They have done the country very proud. In fact, William Ruto was forced to cut short his speech as Kenya Kwanza MPs who accompanied him literally ran away. Let's have a look at that story, courtesy to the nation. Anti-tax demos. Kenya Kwanza MPs take off from angry protesters in Nyahururu. Ruto promises action. If you go through that story, several Kenya Kwanza members of parliament and leaders who accompanied President William Ruto to a church function at Ndururi Primary School in Nyahururu town on Sunday fled the venue to avoid a confrontation with protesters. The leaders sneaked out of the venue to avoid a confrontation with the youth camping outside the school. The leaders, who were caught off guard, were seen running in all directions as they tried to locate their cars, forcing some of them to jump into any available vehicle. They were left confused after the presidential escort team hurriedly wished the president away when they realized the protesters were at the gates waiting for the president and his team. The president was just about to leave when the youth started shouting, Ruto must go and reject the finance bill. The peaceful demonstrators were armed with Kenyan flags and placards denouncing the finance bill and the president. At one point, the chanting protesters overpowered the police to gain access to the school playground as they sought an audience with the head of state, but the president, who was very brief in his address to the church, slipped out of the venue in the confusion. So Ruto literally ran away. Members of parliament running away, Ruto running away. Congratulations to the residents of Nyahururu. You have done the country proud. Politics of ethnic mobilization party lines should now be rejected. We must have leaders doing the right things. They cannot masquerade behind their ethnic and tribal cocoons, behind their political party affiliations to oppress Kenyans. I want us to dig deep into this. In case you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe in order not to miss our next analysis. This is what I can describe. Tamu sana. Let's proceed. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? We are seeing Ruto cutting short his speech. We are seeing over 20 MPs and other elected leaders who accompanied him literally running away. They have seen the crowd is very hostile. And this is the first time we have seen Ruto cutting short his speech after attending a church service. This thing is serious, ladies and gentlemen. And in case you don't know, Gen Zs today again held demonstrations in Nairobi CBD today. And we know that on Tuesday, massive demonstrations have been planned in Nairobi and across the country. I'm very proud of these Gen Zs. And if only these other generations older can also in their ways start demonstrating against Ruto, I think that will be better. In fact, the pressure, in my honest opinion, if the Gen Zs can be supported as they do their things, and then the older generations again can also come out to demonstrate, I don't think William Ruto will still hold that office as a president. The country will just be literally ungovernable. And if you look on Ruto's rule, in the past 2 years, about 2 years, Ruto has done almost everything wrong. Immediately was sworn in as the president, he has been stepping on Kenyan toes. Yes, immediately was sworn in as the president. And to make it even more annoying, he's trying to please the West. To a point, he's even taking our police officers to Haiti, while in Kenya, there is a lot of insecurity. A president squandering over 200 million on a flight. A president using over $1 billion to renovate State House and to buy tea and mandazi. I believe that the gods conspired to destroy Ruto. But Ruto is blind. The gods might have blinded him. If you look at what is happening in Kenya, ladies and gentlemen, if Ruto will reach 2027, I think he will be a very lucky man. And that's what I've consistently been saying here. If you look at what is happening today, where a president cut short his speech, and in the coming days and months, the situation is only but going to worsen. And we also know that Attorney General's son was also kidnapped yesterday night. So even the government itself is fighting. And in the coming days, it's going to get more lively and more interesting. Ruto has to go. Ruto must be rejected. Any leader supporting Ruto, those leaders too must be rejected. Whether they have delivered on the ground or not, there are other better leaders than them. Kenya is not in shortage of good leaders. They must be rejected. And again, in our earlier analysis, we saw Sankok ran for his dear life in Narok. Masais were after him. That's the way to go. Let life be made very difficult for these leaders supporting Ruto. Let Kenya Kwanza bloggers too face that same hostility. If possible, let Kenyans unfollow them, the likes of Dennis Itumbis. All these leaders, any person supporting Ruto, that person has to face the music. Ruto literally ran away today, as other Kenya Kwanza MPs also ran away. That only means that as time goes by, these leaders will dump Ruto. Ruto will be left alone. I don't think no sane leader will want to be rejected by his people in his defense of Ruto. It's only a mad person who will still stick with Ruto. Ruto has to be abandoned. These leaders must go back and serve the people. Ruto must go. And before I conclude, it's now my duty to be reminding Kenyans here of the next course of action as per the Gen Zs. Tomorrow, Monday, let me show you the plan. Tomorrow, Monday, make a courtesy call on MPs who voted yes at the constituency office. Tell them, endelea hivyo hivyo, boycott the businesses of these traitors, ostracize them for betraying 54 million Kenyans, start collecting signatures to recall them. And my last appeal to Western residents. Quite a good number of MPs from Western supported the bill. Western ground should wake up. And also we saw some in Ukambani. Let the ground be very hostile to these people. They must feel the pain of betraying Kenyans. Western, wake up. Ukambani, wake up. Coast, let the country wake up. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.